Greetings fans, hyperfans, and people just lost looking for videos of cats on YouTube. Today we are looking at a transforming robot that's not actually a transformer. I was sent this in a mystery box from Paul over at Sir Toys, and I really should have got round to reviewing him earlier. I can't tell you anything about the character because there is no fiction surrounding him. Just the fact that this is a very cool looking robot. He's got that whole G1 daughter's wing aesthetic, but he's got a very movie-esque face. His one accessory is this gun, which looks very much as though it should transform into an engine part, but it's... let me just take that out of his hand. A very tight grip in the 3mm peg. Is that a 3mm peg? Let me check. Yeah. That's just about grippable by a Lego figure, so that's 3mm. But it doesn't actually have any transformation. Quite a nice pearlescent grey plastic. It's got a light gold print on both sides, just picking out a few details. Nothing in the barrel, so it's just a little extra, but that's kind of cool. But he does look very beefy. This is the kind of toy that, if you just want something big and beefy to play with, and you're not trying to recreate scenes from a certain series, it's really cool. Plastic quality is pretty good. Actually feels a lot thicker than the last few Hasbro releases. Feels a little bit more brittle, and there's that noise that suggests that I'm not going to put it to the hammer test this time. But you've got, main plastic is this blue, which I don't know if my lights are picking up or not, but has a glitter running all the way through it. So, you know, this is a guy who's got a premium paint job. Articulation, nothing at the head. You've got a little bit of choice about how you want to do the doors, down or just up there. Turn at the shoulders, no in or out. You have got an elbow joint, which is slightly hampered by just this tiny little bit of car kibble there. He's got the problem that Bulkhead and the new Galvatron third-party figure have, which is he has curling arms. Basically his arms just go in like that. That's the only wrist articulation. So he kind of looks cool, but you can't do a lot with those arms. The fist pegs will hold the gun very tightly. Okay, so you have a waist swivel, you have in and out, backs and forwards, so full range of motion at the hip. You have a very limited knee bend. Is that pushed all the way out to the top? Yeah. And at the ankle you have a little bit of in and out in both the heel and the toe as part of the transformation. I'm having a lot of difficulty fitting him all into shot because he's absolutely huge. So I'm going to have to put the comparison figures in equally wide legs poses just so we're comparing like to like. So here he is with a deluxe size figure, absolutely towering over him. Here he is with G1's Soundwave, and again towering over him. And here he is with Prime Thundertron. Again, good head and a half taller. I mean, even at his maximum height, he comes up to the shoulders at best. So as a robot, he's really cool and chunky. And yep, he does, let me just show you the back. He has kind of limited paint apps. There's a little bit of silver on the doors, gold on the headlights, and gold and blue in the eyes. But where it is painted, it's pretty well done. I mean, there's not a lot of bleed on that. If anything, they're a little bit short wrapping round. But it's effective. Transforming him. Let's see. So, starting with the leg, the heel actually pulls out. The inner leg folds up, toe folds back, showing off the rear lights, and the heel actually folds up to fill in that space there. So same on the other side. And the two halves push together. And that's pretty firm. Grab the top of the thighs and push down, and these will just go down on slider joints. Use that waist turn to bring the top half together. The one problem with buying things from Sir Toys is they come without instructions, so hopefully this will help anyone who's bought it. Right. And then we just got to get the arms sorted. So, getting those door panels out the way, straightening the arm forwards and curling the fist in. On the other side, curling the fist in, putting the arm towards Superman style, and just lining that up with the door panels. And squeezing that all together. And then you just make sure that the door, you have to make sure that the doors are on the outside of the legs, because there's a little groove in there, and everything just slides up, and actually when you squeeze it together, that holds together pretty well. Now in car mode, again, he's absolutely gorgeous. That's a really chunky car. Yes, lots of visible robot kibble, visible head, visible hands. But why would you turn him over? He's rolling like a boss. He's holding together really nicely. Even the panel lines are really forgivable. I mean, they go along the door lines, they go along the boot, they go along the hood. So here you have a blue Japanese style robot that turns into a bugatti. Gee, doesn't that sound familiar? And quite honestly, if you kitted this guy out with a couple of swords that would fit under there, I think that would make a so much cooler drift figure. For size comparison, here he is next to Generations Blur, and he's about a quarter longer again, not much taller, and maybe about another 25% wider. Paint apps here, you have a little bit of silver on the intake, gold headlights, silver grille, silver on the door panels, the grey plastic on the back, gold rear lights, no license plates, but still that's pretty cool. It does seem to have the problem that most of the generations have with having a fuel cap on both sides, but that's forgivable. The only thing that I really wish he did have is painted windows. They're still in that really lovely sparkly metallic blue. Makes it look very futuristic, but having those areas in tinted black would probably make it look a little bit more, well, car-like. You'd think that there should be some place back there to store the weapon, but there is absolutely nothing there. There's no space underneath. If that folded up some way, you could maybe get it in there, because there does seem to be a little bit of space there. But I cannot work out any way of storing that in car mode. But it's not the most important of things. There are maybe a few QC issues on it. This back wheel just has a little bit of silver paint leaked through, and a moulding line in there that I've got no idea where that would have come from in manufacturing. But everything else is fine and dandy. Paint's all pretty tight to its lines. And yeah, it's a nifty little car. Actually, having said that I wouldn't do the hammer test, in car mode, I'd feel a hell of a lot safer doing that. Again, it's a very chunky toy, very good to feel. It's the kind of thing that, if I was 8 years old, would probably be my favourite toy pretty quickly. It's available from Sir Toys, the link is below. There's about 4 or 5 different bots in this series, so check them all out. If you've liked this review, comment or hit the like button. If you've liked more than one of my reviews, hit the subscribe button. Let's see if we can get it into triple figures. And whilst you're deciding on whether you're going to pick up this beefy blue Bugatti, remember, if you're keeping them in package, you're not a toy collector, you're a box collector. Till next time. Thank you to Marvel for training people to stay till the end of the credits. One little bonus thing, which is just going to be my waffling in comments, so if you want more information about the toy, just go and buy it. Paul's had this in his shop for a while, and they're not flying off the shelf the way that others are. And it led me to think about why we actually buy toys. I mean, sometimes it is pure nostalgia. Just reaching around me. I've got Lego space figures because that's what me and my brother used to play with growing up. I've been getting the Fans Project Insecticons to replace toys that my dad picked up for me from Italy when he was away on business, again as I was a kid. Then there are other things that draw you to toys which are character based. Soundwave has always been a really fantastic character, so even though this is still an 80s bit of kit, I really wanted to get that toy. I really love my bad guys, which is why when they did the Black Series Darth Vader, I picked him up, because I love the character. I just wanted to have a good representation of that in plastic. So, why do you guys buy your toys? Is it nostalgia? Is it because you like the character? Is it because you like the engineering on the toy itself? Let me know. Leave a comment under this, or hit me up on Twitter at @the_Macula.